Hey, everybody. It is Peter and Sel here from Strong Healthy Women, and welcome to Talking Wellbeing TV, where we share hints, tips, and advice about the foundations of well-being. And before you think Sal's in her car, yes, she is in her car. Um, so she is not driving, so never fear.
No.
She was heading to the park to televise from the park with us today, but it has started raining, so she is sitting in her car. How are you, Sal?
On the side of the road. Good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, yeah, good, on the side of the road.
Good,
Mm.
good. Peter did have a good point. She should have just driven out there. It never rains out there.
Yeah. We hardly ever get rain. Like, it's pouring down in there and I've got 6 spots of rain, it didn't even make my glasses type of thing. But anyway, what's our topic today? Our topic today is giving up, or do you find alternates? So, firstly, I want to start by talking about, we all want our healthiest life. When we're healthy, we feel energized. We feel like we've got the power within us. We feel like we have momentum. We feel more productive. So when we're at our healthiest, we are just feeling like superwoman. So hands on the hips, chest is out, and we are just, out there. It is just perfect. And so what happens though is that life just throws us stuff. We can walk the same way every single day, and then all of a sudden there turns out to be a pothole in the road and we fall over, and then we hurt our knee. And so we may not be able to continue walking for a little bit. And so do you just go, oh, well, I'm going to give up on that healthy lifestyle, and part of that is my, walking routine, or do I find alternates? So you know where I'm coming from, Sal, with this?
Yes, absolutely. I found
Yeah,
an alternate this
yeah,
morning. My goal when I left home this morning was to sit in the park and do my live with you in the park. My alternate was,
yeah.
yeah,
Sit in the car. Yeah,
sit in the
yeah, and
car,
it's
do your
totally
life.
true. Yeah. And so I think, Sal, that a lot of this comes down to that we can easily give up. And sometimes where that comes from is that, there may have been a certain situation back in our past where something's occurred and we've given up then. And so what happens is that we think, well, that's just what I'm supposed to do. Um, but we can change that. We can go, okay, I'm going to dig deep and find an alternate. So I love that we've got one of our gorgeous women, and I'm going to give a shout out to her, Julie, who is doing the 28-day Field Up Transformation with us. Now, she is one of those ladies who has got, some issues with her body, but that hasn't stopped her from eating her healthy meals. It hasn't stopped her from doing the mindset lessons and focusing on her sleep and handling her stress. She just hasn't been able to do the exercise that, we would prescribe as being the best to get the best results. But she's still been able to do some level of exercise. So she's done something. So we can always find those ways, those different ways of working with whatever is happening in our life. Would you like to explore that a
Hmm.
little bit more? Have you had a personal experience on that?
I just want to say that life is not, when you start your fitness and health journey, it's not going to be 100%. So don't
No.
walk into it or start expecting that it's going to be 100%. As you said, life throws up
No.
obstacles. Um, one of the difficulties I had a few years ago was I was running, and it was one of those moments where it was charter boat. What charter boat? And I was running and I saw this rock, and I've gone, okay, there's a rock there, don't step on the rock. And I stood on the rock and I hurt my ankle. But so I wasn't able to do anything for quite a few weeks, but my focus was still with my healthy eating. That was my alternate. I
Mm,
knew that I could control what was happening with that. I may not have been able to exercise, but that's what I could do.
yeah.
And another wonderful thing is to, when we think about our exercises that we do with our ladies, so taking nutrition out of it, have our ladies in the studio, and sometimes they can't do a particular exercise, so they're asking for the alternate. So as you said, is
Mm.
always an alternate that you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to explain the charter boat analogy that Sel just used, just in case you're coming from overseas and or you actually don't watch television. This goes back from many, many years ago, and it was an insurance ad, and it was a guy who had busted up his boat, and he was talking about how the insurance company helped him out and whatever, and his wife comes out and goes, charter boat? What charter boat? Because what happened was he just drove straight into a charter boat, and that's how he ended up busting up his boat. So it's a bit of a funny story. So yes, so the analogy there is you see something, but you just don't avoid it. You just end up doing it. I think that comes down to, they say that what we think is what we do. So if you think about that pothole, you're going to end up in that pothole. So it's yeah. So no more thinking about those things. Yeah, I love that.
Yes, yes.
So
I get
look,
reminded by my sisters.
yeah. So I mean, for me, I've had a shoulder issue, and it was my own stupid fault, because what happens is when we're working with the ladies, we can see correct technique. We can also see where they're going off with their technique. And so I had got into this habit of going, well, this is what you don't do, and I'm doing the don't do's. And I actually injured myself from doing that don't do. So, injuring your shoulder just really affects your back. And there was quite a lot of pain with it. And when you get that pain, it's really easy to become very distracted and get very off track, because you get frustrated with yourself because you can't do certain things. And I know for me, um, I was just I had to do a lot of talking to myself to overcome that. I had to go, well, you know what? You might be in that pain, but your lower body is still capable of doing things. You can still do core work. There are still certain things that you can do. You just need to be conscious of it and slow yourself down, because if you do nothing, then you're going to end up back where you were before you started making these healthy changes in your life. And so I had to work really hard through it, when it came to, fighting that pain that I had. So it is really, really easy to just go, well, I haven't had a good week. So therefore, what I'm going to do is, it's Thursday, so I'm just going to give myself permission to go, well, it's close enough to the weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start next week. I'm just going to start on Monday again. So we just let ourselves go off track. And when we give that permission, generally as a rule, we'll go right off track. We'll just go crazy on it. And what happens is then we just simply feel bad about ourselves, and then it's hard to get started again. So then we go, oh, hang on a minute. Well, it's close enough to the end of the month. I'll just finish out the month and I'll start next month. So it's a bit of a mind game that we play with ourselves. And, it's okay to give yourself permission to not do that healthy choice. It's totally okay to do that as long as you're consciously doing it and that you know how you're going to feel by not doing it. And so just when you're on track with your healthy eating and your exercise, and you've got good sleep habits, and you've got, your stress under control, when you have all of those things mastered, well, not so much mastered, but in line, you start to pay more attention to what's going on in your body, and your body starts to talk to you. It's always talking to you, but it's a matter of whether we're listening to it or not. And with talking to it and hearing it, you'll start to hear it say things. And I love that. I got an email last night from one of the girls doing the 28-day Fueled Up, and she said, you know what? I just thought my stiff fingers were just part of aging. She said, Annie, I've just realized that I've just been eating this way and I've reduced the inflammation in my body. And what's happened is my fingers don't feel stiff anymore. And so it's a great way to actually really, really connect with how you're feeling and listening to your body, because when you're doing that, it means that when you get these distractions, and we're going to get them, when you get these distractions, you can really start to think about, well, how was I feeling? So if I do this, these are all the things that are going to start happening in my body again. And I don't want that. So when you've got that, you understand why it's important to you and how you're going to feel because of that, then you will, have those little slip-ups and get straight back onto it. Or what you'll do is allow yourself to go, okay, I'm just going to give up. So the alternates are a far better option. Just find those alternates. Sal, have you got anything you want to add in there?
Just with those, you're talking about the inflammation in the fingers and noticing that it is not there anymore.
Yep.
I think a great thing to do is to write it on a Post-it note and put it somewhere where you're going to see it. So whether it's on the fridge,
Oh,
if you've got a cork board, put it on the cork board. These are tiny little reminders that you see. So you've taken it from your mind and from that noticing position out of your mind and put it down on paper. So every day you're reminded, I don't have that paper anymore because my information is down, because this is the work that I've done to make my life better.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, is to write it down, because when we write things down, we're not just keeping it to ourselves. We're actually got that reminder, and it's out there. We've actually said it, and so when we've said it becomes part of who we are. And so it's a great reminder to actually write things down. I love that. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. So when we get to that crossroad, and as I said, it is easy to just give up. So, and I'm thinking of an instance here where Paul was in hospital and almost passed away. And so I was driving back and forth to the hospital. And after the second day, I was starting to realize, how I was starting to feel tired. Now, I was tired emotionally, but I was feeling tired physically as well, too. I wasn't eating well. So, I just flicked on a slow cooker that night and put on a healthy meal so I had something to take with me. I started to make better choices at the cafe, at the hospital, if I needed something from the cafe. I started to park further away. I started to walk the stairs rather than take the lift. So there were just little alternates there that helped me feel better inside about my own health. Because if I allowed my health to deteriorate and become so inflamed and so emotionally and drained physically, then what was going to happen is when he came home and he needed the help that he needed, I would have been not in a fit state to be able to do that.
No. And most of our clients, yourself included. Oh, sorry, I'm losing everyone. One of the first things they say to us is, they look after the grandkids, or they look after a parent, or they look after a, family members. That sort of thing. So, absolutely, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. So, ladies, we want you to think about this today. Is the reason that you are focused on your healthy, well life, is it strong enough? Is it really keeping you on that straight and narrow? Is it really ingrained in who you are, that this is the person that I am? I'm a healthy, fit person. Or are you going, I'm going to get better one day type of thing? So you have to really say that out loud. I'm a healthy, fit person. Every day, I'm a healthy, fit person. And so when you say it out loud there, you're giving yourself that permission to be that healthy, fit person. So when you have that really strong reason, then you're going to keep on focus. You're also going to be able to give yourself permission to go and do those other little things, and to have the sweet treats, and to have that little piece of birthday cake with your grandkids or whatever it happens to be. And that's what's important. But what's important here is not to give up. If you find yourself about to give up, that's when you've got to have that support team behind you. You've got to go, well, who am I going to reach out to? Who's going to say to me, oh, no, it's okay. You've worked really hard. Just give up. And they're going to support you through that. Or is that support team that you've got around you, are they going to go, okay, I understand this. Let's have a look at it. Let's explore these feelings. When did it happen? What happened in your life? Was it, what distracted you? How did it make you feel? Was there something in the past that made you feel that way? Okay, let's focus on flipping that switch and changing it around, so that what you're doing there is that you're starting to write a new story for yourself, so that when these things happen, you've got the tools to change it.
Absolutely.
So any final thoughts from you, Sel?
Another thing, and you and I discussed the other day, dig deep, ladies. Have you done something in the past that you failed at, or you've done something in the past several times that you failed at, as far as your health and fitness goes? So, expectation is, I'm just going to fail anyway. So dig deep. How much do you believe in yourself?
Yep. I've failed in the past, so therefore I'll fail again. So you set yourself up for failure. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, great finish. Yeah. All right, ladies. So if you want some more hints, tips, and advice, then come join us in our free group, Women Over 50, Get Active and Healthy. There's a link there for you. So today's topic has all about giving up. So when life gets in the road and you want this healthy, fit life, do you give it up, or do you just go, okay, what's my alternate? What is that simple, small thing that I can keep doing that is going to keep me moving forward? And that's what it's about, is you taking the power and you getting that momentum to keep that energy level up and to live that healthy, fit life that you're after. Thanks for joining me from the car today, Sal.
Beautiful.
All right,
KJ,
ladies.
hopefully not here on Monday.
Yeah, in the car. Yeah.
Bye,
All
everybody.
right, ladies. Take care. We shall see you all soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.